everyone, and welcome to the Python programming tutorial. And this is the course for beginners, those that want to start their computer programming, and specifically with a programming language called Python. So in this video I'm going to just talk about what we call methods. Okay, so method in Python, but in particular we'll be looking at object-oriented programming. Okay, so in the last video I showed you how you can create a class in Python. We said that you should create a class by writing the keyword class, and then also after that the name of the class. You can say this could be anything. Okay, so like person. So this is the whole of like the universal set. Okay, person. And then now what you can do is you write what is called, you initialize this class, so that each and every single time whenever you call an object, whenever you try to write anything under that, most of the properties are inherited from this initialization constructor. So this is a function that the initialization is a function of a method. So def, okay, so that's underscore underscore, and then init, this word is initialization. Okay, and then on the other side underscore underscore, then in bracket now. And then what is going to happen now, we're going to use the keyword, or rather the words that we put in this function, sort of like the brackets. These are what we call the parameters, or in other programming languages we call them the arguments. So the self, this is an inbuilt stuff, but the name could be anything. Okay, so we want to sort of like define this person as a class. So what are some of the properties that we can give this person? Because we understand that the person is an object, but we are just trying to create a blueprint of what this object as a person is going to have at the end of the day. So we are going to, let's just say, okay, the name, and then also the tribe. Okay, so let's just make it simple. We have the tribe of this person, and then see, every function it starts with the keyword def, or definition, and then you put a full colon. And then now under that we can now start to say binding these to a value. So these are more like the variables, okay, the properties. Okay, so these, except the self, these are variables, which are also simply called the properties in this case. So self dot the name of that person equals to whatever the name is, that will be defined under that. Okay, so on your left this is a variable. Okay, variables are always assigned from the left side of the equal sign, and this is the actual value of the name. Okay, and then from there we have two properties. So you can put as many properties as you want that could attribute to this class person. So also tribe, whatever the tribe may be. Okay, then once you're done, that's all you needed to do, and then you can come out of this function, the initialization function. So what you can just do now is, again, you come out of this class person, you go all the way far to the left, and you're going to say, okay, this is P1. So you can just say person 1 or person 2. We are trying to sort of like model the person as in real person. So this object now, P1 is an object. You remember from our previous video, P1 is an object, and this is going to be, so P1, we bind this object to the class, and then we say in bracket. Okay, now we are going to specify the actual values of the name or the tribe, as well as the tribe. So this is going to be let's just say Akim Zulu. I just remembered my friend from high school, Akim Zulu, and then this guy could be, I don't know, a Zoro. This could be, let's just say, Ngoni. Okay, so Ngoni. Okay. Okay, so don't worry about if I've made a mistake about the real tribe of the Zulus. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we are going to be able to print the details of this object, the person one. Okay, so we are going to say print. Okay, we're going to say print now p1 dot. Okay, so we want first of all the name. Okay, so the name, we're going to say dot name. Then you also want to print the tribe. So p1 again, just the same method, so you always use the dot method. So dot tribe. Okay, so from there now guys, what's going to happen is I'm using Sublime and I'm going to press Ctrl B, and you'll be able to see the output of this program, which is I'm just going to help you understand what is the method. So I'm coming to the method. Okay, so this is simply what we did in the previous video. Okay, so let's it's Ctrl B in Sublime. So you can see right there on the left corner on my desktop, we have on the screen Akim Zulu, Ngoni. So sometimes when we come to programming, you can just try to become more Akim Zulu. So what's that? Okay, so we just want to become specific. Let's say I'm just going to say name. Okay, so name is okay, and then also there let's just say so Zulu, and then I'm going to say, or we can just make it simple by saying my tribe is whatever the tribe is. So let's run the program, Ctrl B. Okay, so my name is Akim Azuru, and then also my tribe is Ngoni. Okay, so you can do that as well. Okay, so you can see now I'm formatting this so that anyone that is looking at my program is able to tell that this is somehow what the program is doing. Okay, so now that's a bit of sort of like detailed intro, but sort of like a recap as well. But what we can do now is we are going to do a method. Okay, so what is a method? So a method is simply a function that is created inside the class that you should know. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm just gonna, under this class, I'm going to say def. Okay, so let's just say, so create a method. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to say def. So this is always the keyword that you use when you're defining a function. So I'm just going to make it simple, just say call it my function. Okay, now the thing is, I don't want to actually pass in any other things from this function. What I'm just going to do is pass in the keyword self, because the moment I just pass in the keyword self, meaning whatever properties are in the initialization, okay, are going to be able to be also passed on. Okay, so my function, so this is a method, so I just pass in this keyword, okay, as self, because the self is what is binding any other properties that is added in the initialization method, the function, which is on line 5. So what's going to happen there, let me just say add something like print. We're just going to say, okay, let's just say maybe I'm just going to say, okay, the Zulu people, let's just say, are you from South Africa? Okay, so let's just say South. And then I can also just punch there to say self, because the self is what is binding others. The self dot name, and then let's just make it simple there. Okay, so it's going to pop up Akim Zulu, are you from South Africa? Okay, so okay, save that. And then how am I going to run this thing? Okay, so I can run this just to print this part of the method, which is just simply the function. So let me comment out. So an hashtag is a comment in Python. Okay, so now when I run this thing, okay, nothing pops up because we have not actually commanded the computer or this program to print out anything. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say print. Now that method, okay, is bound, the object, this object is bound to this class because I'm assigning this person class, and whatever is there is this Akim Zulu, the actual name, which is there, and this name is also attached to the self. So this implies that the self has given us options to sort of like maybe play around with the name as well as the tribe. So what we're going to do is p1 dot, okay, and then I'm going to say my function. Okay, and then because the function has just empty thing, okay, so it actually runs there. So Akim Zulu, are you from South Africa? Okay, so you can probably see what this looks like. Okay, so don't worry about the none there. Okay, but our main focus is, you can see how this is coming out. So I actually bind the object, or rather the function is now bound to the object, because the object is actually the class is also bound to the object. So that's kind of a chain. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you go about this. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like this video, share it, and also don't forget to comment and let me know if you got the concept of the function, okay, or rather method. Okay, so the none is sort of like because we have called this the p1, okay, that's sort of like we are printing it out, so it is expecting us to give out something on name and the tribe. So let's say if you just call out, okay, so now you can see that we only have Akim Zulu, are you from South Africa? I thought I'd put, okay, that's the comma there, people can see the comma. Okay, so okay, just stick to the comma. Okay, so thank you so much guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, and God bless.